Alright, so in today's video, I will be showing you the best way to make $1,000 online in the next 30 days by primarily using AI, right? That's what I'll be sharing with you in today's video. If you're looking to make more money, add additional income, this video is for you. So make sure you are sticking around. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you some proof, right? Because I see the same videos as you do. I see the same ads where people are out here saying, oh, I became a millionaire doing X, Y, and Z. And there's just not a lot of proof because it's very easy for people to lie online. But using what I'll be sharing with you today, this is a picture of me just a few years ago. I was working at McDonald's. I was flipping burgers for $14 an hour, which is the minimum wage here in Canada. I had a bunch of credit card debt, and basically, I just had no skills. I had no experience. I was very young. And again, right, I was just flipping burgers at McDonald's. And fast forward a few years, by using what I'm sharing with you in today's video, I started my online business in October 2022. And by December 2022, so around 2 months later, I actually hit my first $10,000 a month online. Now, the title of this video is how to make your first $1,000 online. And the reason I picked that title was because obviously I'm not saying that every single person, by using what I'm sharing with you today, you go out and 3 months later, you'll be making 10 grand a month online. That's just not realistic, but it is completely realistic and completely reasonable for anyone who implements what I'm sharing today to make at least their first $1,000 online. But using what I'm sharing with you today, I actually hit my very first $10,000 a month around 2 to 3 months later from what I'm sharing. And another example, just to prove to you that this actually works, other than just me, this is someone that I'm working with. Her name is called Sydney, and I started working with her together on August, right? So somewhere around the first and second week of August, we started working together. And by September, so a little bit over a month later, she actually signed her first client and actually made $3,000, and she's making $3,000 a month by using what I'm sharing with you today. So this process just works. It really just does. There's no other ways to explain it, and I'll be sharing with you exactly what that process is, kind of laid out in a step-by-step process that you can really just follow through if you stick around for the rest of this video and actually take action. So jumping right into it, how will you actually make money by doing this? How will you go out and actually make your first $1,000 a month online by doing this? And to be completely direct, how I did this was by starting my own online business. That's what I did. And the specific business that I started is what's called a lead generation agency. And I'll be explaining exactly what that is in a little bit more detail. But before I break down exactly what this is, what this business model is, and how all of it works, let me first tell you what this business model isn't, right? Again, because I really do see the same ads and the same videos as all of you guys do. And each creator, the person standing in the ad or the person making these videos, they're all yelling at you, telling you that what they're doing is the best way, right? It's objective, right? It's the best way. Everyone says that. I'm kind of saying that too, right? And what I want you to do, right, is I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to bullshit you by just telling you that starting a lead generation agency is the best online business model. But what I'll be doing is I'll be showing you some proof and showing you the steps of how all of this works. And by the end of this video, I want you to make that decision yourself as to whether this is the best or it's just not that good for what you're trying to do and your skill set and your experience and all of that stuff. It's just not the best for you. I want to let you make that decision. I'm not just gonna tell you that this is the best, right? And that's kind of why I'm putting together this video as well. But this business model, starting a lead generation agency, it's just super beginner friendly. It's one of the best business models for people just looking to get started with no experience, really probably with no skill set as well, because you don't need to spend thousands of dollars to make this profitable and make your first dollar, right? So for example, using this business model as a lead generation agency, I wasn't selling physical products. I didn't need to invest tens of thousands of dollars on physical products or on inventory just to get this off the ground. I also, by starting a lead generation agency, I didn't need to learn and master 20 plus different skills in order to do this. I didn't need to learn how to do ads, how to hire people, how to do all of these like just really different things. I just needed to learn one thing, and I'll be sharing what that is in today's video as well. So I didn't need to learn 20 different things. This is a very simple business model to learn and to pick up. And more importantly, what I was doing as a lead generation agency, I wasn't doing anything that was like morally questionable, that was ethically wrong. I wasn't doing any of those things. I was genuinely providing massive value into the marketplace, into the world, really. And this is not a get rich quick or some kind of make money hack. So if that's what you're looking for, I encourage you to just click off this video, because this is not a get rich quick or some way for you to randomly wake up with additional $1,000 or just magically wake up and be making 10 grand a month, because that's not going to happen. This is a real business. It's as real as going out and starting your own restaurant or starting a law firm or just starting a real business. This is a real business. There are things you need to learn. There are things you need to do, and you're not just going to magically make money by just doing absolutely nothing. So I just wanted to lay that out just so that we're completely just so that we're completely clear. So here's exactly what a lead generation agency is and how all of it works. So I first want to ask you this question. How do businesses generate leads and find more customers? So think about some of the largest businesses in the world. Microsoft, Amazon, IBM, HP, FedEx. How do all of them go out and find more customers, right? From a business point of view, right? So what they're actually doing, as an answer to just tell you, right, is most of them, they're relying on cold calling. They're relying on running ads. So Facebook ads or YouTube ads or Google ads. A lot of them are relying on word of mouth and referrals. So I work with this person liked what I had to do for them, and they're recommending me to their friends, to their colleagues, to other people inside the network. That's how most businesses are getting new customers right now in 2025, right? And as a result, most businesses are actually struggling to generate leads and find more customers, right? And there's actually a study, according to HubSpot, which is a really massive organization, 65% of businesses say that generating traffic and generating leads is their number one marketing challenge. In fact, I will actually challenge the study and say that it's probably the number one challenge in business as a whole, right? Because, businesses live and die by their ability to generate new customers, which equals to more money, more revenue, more cash flow inside their business, right? A business that's struggling to attract new customers, they're just not going to be around very long, right? You look at all the businesses that went bankrupt or went under. What's the number one problem they have, right? Is they just weren't generating enough money to offset all of their costs, right? And why weren't they generating enough money? Well, the answer is they simply weren't getting enough new customers inside the door to buy their products or services. Now, the next study is how many B2B businesses actually exist out there, right? In the world, right? Just to show you how large of a problem this actually is. And what a B2B business is a business that sells their products or services to other businesses. So it's not like realtors or it's not like gyms that sells their own services to just regular everyday people, to consumers. How many businesses? There are 3 million B2B businesses that exist in the world. 3 million companies that sell their products or services to other businesses. And this is just in the States. So for example, I'm from Canada. So if you include countries like Canada, the UK, Australia, or New Zealand, there are millions more of these of these B2B companies that exist in the world. And there's only 3 million in the US alone, which is quite a large amount of money. So the reason I'm showing you this is because lead generation, so the ability, again, to generate new customers and generate new clients and generating that traffic, it's a big problem for a massive group of people. Again, there's quite literally millions of B2B businesses out there, and most of them are actually struggling with getting new customers and getting new clients. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because if you can help businesses solve this for them, this is a massive money opportunity, right? The larger the problems that you solve, the more money you will make. And this is why this is such a massive new window opportunity for anyone who's able to do this. So that's kind of where starting a lead generation agency, where that really steps in. Because what exactly is a lead generation agency? Well, a lead generation agency is a company that develops and implements strategies to help businesses attract more qualified leads, attract new customers, potential customers. That's exactly what a lead generation agency is. And I actually used AI, so ChatGPT, just to really simplify what a lead generation agency actually does. And what it told me is a lead gen agency is a company that helps other businesses find potential customers who are interested in their products or services. So that's kind of where you're stepping in. Businesses, a large group of businesses are struggling with finding more customers. And what you're doing by starting this business model is you're helping these businesses who have this massive problem, you're helping them get new customers and clients. That's the entire premise of what a lead generation agency does. So here's a diagram that really illustrates exactly what you're doing. So businesses over here, they're looking to work with more clients and customers, right? This is the gap. And what you're doing as a lead generation agency is you're kind of like the middleman. You're stepping in the middle because what you're doing is you're connecting these businesses with their clients. And how you're doing that is by using cold emails. So again, you're not calling people, you're not running ads, you're not doing a bunch of these random things, you're not posting content. What you're doing is you're doing cold emails, and I'll be breaking down exactly what a cold email is. And just to really simplify, and hopefully this doesn't get a little bit confusing, is as a lead generation agency, what you're doing is you'll be using cold emails to email these businesses, basically telling them, hey, we will help you get more customers and clients. Once they're interested in how you can help them, they'll be setting up a phone call, all of these different things. And after that, once you acquire them as a client, so they're paying you money to help them get more customers and clients, you'll also be using cold emails to connect them with their own clients. So that's kind of what you're doing. Hopefully this diagram isn't super confusing. And in the next few minutes, hopefully you get a much better idea of exactly what this is. So essentially what I was doing was I was using cold emails. So again, I was emailing people, I was emailing business owners who just simply didn't know who I am. Who's Jim Fung? Who's Jimmy Fung? I don't know who this person is. So I was emailing people who just didn't know who I was, and I was pitching my own lead generation services to them. And cold emails has actually existed since the beginning of the internet, really, right? There's millions, tens of millions of cold emails that are sent every single day. And this isn't something that is just going to magically disappear, right? So this isn't a trend. This isn't something that just popped up 2 months ago and it'll kind of just fizzle out in the next 6 months. Cold emails has actually existed for quite literally decades, right? And so many businesses, the largest businesses in the world, the Microsofts, the IBMs, the Amazons, they all use cold emails to actually acquire more customers and clients. So just to recap, the service that I was selling for myself, or the service that you will be selling that will allow you to make your first $1,000 a month online in the next 30 days is by helping business owners generate sales calls by using cold emails. And cold emails, the reason we're using that as a channel is there's a bunch of different reasons. The first major reason is cold emails is actually one of the most effective ways to actually do this, right? 71% of buyers actually want to hear from sellers when they're exploring new products or ideas through cold emails. It's extremely effective. And on top of that, with cold emails, if you do it the right way, if you do it the way I'm sharing with you in today's video, it's actually extremely automated. So you're not gonna have to spend and sit on your chair, sit in your computer and spend 8 hours a day talking with people, manually sending emails, and all of those things. But I digress, right? It's just one of the best ways to do this if you don't want to spend a bunch of hours, if you only have 1 to 2 hours a day, and it works extremely well. And one of the reasons why starting a lead generation agency is one of the best business models for beginners is because it's very simple. The exact same way that I get clients for myself, so again, right, I was cold emailing businesses, selling my own services. I'm also, once I get a client, I'm also using cold emails to help them get new clients. It's a very simple business model. And using this business model, again, right, I actually went from $0 to $10,000 a month in my first 2 to 3 months of starting this business. And businesses, so your own clients, they're actually willing to pay you anywhere between $1,500 to $3,000 a month for the service. I just showed you that example of Sydney, who using this business model, she signed her first client who paid her $3,000 a month. Right? And using this exact business model, my first client also paid me $3,000 a month, right? And there's actually a lot of proof of other people that I'm working with who are also starting their own lead generation agencies and signing clients for thousands of dollars, right? So for example, with Daniel, who signed his first 2 clients, one of them for $3,500 USD every single month, right? The other one, $4,500. Another 2 clients, $4,500, right? Because this is extremely profitable, and because of how large of a problem this is, businesses, they're actually happy to be paying thousands of dollars because you're helping them make tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars back, right? So Daniel, by starting his own lead generation agency, he went from $0 to $13,000 in his first 60 days, right? We have Spencer, who started his own lead generation agency, signed his first client for $3,000 a month, signed his next client for $4,000, another client for another $4,000, and he was actually able to, in this screenshot, he actually messaged me in at the end of August, where he said, after invoicing his clients for the end of that month in August, he should be over his first $20,000 month still without hiring a single person, right? And that's the power of starting a lead generation agency. It is very profitable, and you don't have to go out and hire a bunch of different people to do this. You're actually able to do this yourself, right? And here's actually an interview from Spencer from a few months before he sent me that message, where he went from $0 to $11,000 in his first 60 days from starting his own lead generation agency. We have Kevin, right? I'm just going to expedite this process so you don't get bored and all of this stuff. But Kevin, starting his own lead generation agency, he went from $0 to 9.5K in a single week by doing this. We have Tyler, who went from $0 to $6,000 in his first 30 days by starting his lead generation agency. We have Brian Tsai, who did this, and he actually hit his first $24,000 a month at the end of August. So that's the power of starting their own lead generation agency. And again, as a caveat, I do want to make this clear that it's not likely that you go out and you just start hitting your first $20,000 a month 3 months later. That's just not a very realistic expectation. I could be telling you that, but the truth is that's not likely to happen. But what is likely to happen is if you do implement everything that I do share, it's very easy for you to hit your first $1,000 month within the next 30 days. Very, very simple. And I'm just showing you these examples to show you what could potentially happen if you do everything the right way, if you sell the service the right way, you position it the right way, and you just do the entire process the right way, pretty much, right? It is 100% possible to be making well over $1,000 per month by doing this. So how do you actually start a lead generation agency? Let's get into the meat of this video. So there's really 6 steps that I really boiled down as to what you want to do in order to start your own lead generation agency. And I'll be walking you through each of these 6 steps in the following minutes of this video. And the truth is I actually made a bunch of different YouTube videos on my own channel. So if you're watching this video, you're probably watching this on YouTube. If you just click into my channel, I literally have over 100 different videos walking people through each of these individual steps. They're a little bit scattered, but if you just search them up, you're gonna find videos talking about each of these 6 steps in specific details. And if you want a detailed step-by-step process, you can actually click the link in the description and watch a longer video. It's a playlist that I put together that walks people through how to go from 0 to signing their first client with their own lead generation agency, breaking down each of these steps in specific details. However, over the last few months, in my own business, we actually built a custom AI bot, a custom AI software really, that does all of these 6 steps for people, for myself, right? It's custom built out using the data from my own business that's collected data over the last 2 years of doing this. And the AI is actually trained on data that just works. So I know what works, what doesn't. And I actually built a custom AI using the data that works. And there's really nothing else on the market that does the exact same thing. So I haven't found a different AI that does what I'll be sharing with you in today's video. And that's kind of why I actually built this out for myself. And the goal of building out that AI is so that people who I work with, if they are starting their own lead generation agency, they can learn how to do each of these 6 steps by themselves, but the AI will actually do the actual work. It'll actually implement and do the actual work. So people are learning how it works to their own benefit. If they want to be in business for a really long time and make money consistently, it's to their benefit to learn how each of these steps work. But the AI will actually do all of the heavy lifting, especially upfront. Meaning the chance of failing is just significantly lower because the AI is less likely to do these steps wrong compared to a human, and is probably going to do it better than someone who's doing these things for the very first time. So what this does is the AI will actually save a bunch of time, it'll save a bunch of effort, and some of these tasks that I'll be sharing with you, if you did these tasks manually, it'll take you anywhere from a few hours to do to a few days to do, depending on what you're doing. And that's assuming you actually know what you're doing. But the AI will actually do all of these things within 5 to 10 minutes. Like, that's how powerful AI is. So if you want to implement each of these steps yourself manually, so researching how to do it and trying it yourself, there's a link in the YouTube description that will lead you to a playlist that I put together, kind of like a series of mini courses on each of these individual steps. But if you want to see how AI can actually implement all of these steps and do the work for you automatically, then make sure you stick around, because that's what this video will be around for today. So the very first step is to actually pick a niche and to understand who you are selling to and to actually research those people. So again, what we want to be doing is we want to be selling our lead generation services to other B2B companies. So other businesses that sell their products or services to other businesses. And one of the most common questions that I really do get asked in all of my YouTube videos on my Instagram DMs is, Jimmy, what is the best industry to be selling to? And here's a list of 22 different industries that you can actually sell your own lead generation services to. There's a bunch out there. And again, because of how many businesses exist and how the vast majority of these businesses actually struggle with lead generation, you can really sell this service to really any of these industries. You just really got to pick one that resonates most with you, that you enjoy working with, and that's all you need to do. So there's 22 over here. You can actually pause this video and go take a look yourself, but there's just a bunch of different industries here. But what you want to do is, after picking one specific industry, I can't stress this enough, you have to pick one industry, you got to do research on this industry. Because let's say you pick legal firms. Maybe right now you don't have any experience with law firms and legal firms in that legal industry. So you actually have to do research to understand what they struggle with most in terms of getting new customers, what they're doing, how they're making money, all of that stuff. And for a lot of people actually skip this entire process because, again, I understand it, right? Doing research is very boring. It takes a ton of time. It's very tedious. You got to talk with people. You got to do all these different things, and it'll take you many hours to actually do all of this research. But using the AI software that we actually built out inside my own business, you're actually able to do this research yourself manually, or automatically, I should say, right? So as an example, here's a screenshot of the AI software where it asks me what specific industry or what specific niche I have in mind for sending cold emails. I put in marketing, and here's actually research that it does. And this looks very simple because that's what AI does. It simplifies all of the research into key points that actually moves the needle. So you're not researching the most random stuff. You're researching very important key steps that will help you see success with your own lead generation agency. So for example, how does marketing agencies, how do they benefit from this specific service, lead generation services? What has most marketing agencies typically tried in relation to lead generation? What pain points or problems do most marketing agencies struggle in relation to lead generation? All of these key questions, and the AI will actually do the research for you, and with a click of a button within 30 seconds, it'll spit out a bunch of research. And again, this is research that will literally take you hours, sometimes even days for some people to actually get this type of research, and that's assuming they actually do the research correctly. So that's the very first step you want to do, is picking one specific niche and doing research into that niche, into that industry, as to how they actually need your service, which in this case is lead generation services. So after you pick one specific niche and you actually do research into how you can actually help them, the very next step is to do what is called building an offer. And building an offer is actually a simple sentence, 1 to 2 sentences, that essentially explains, number one, who you help, what you do, and how you can help them. It's a very simple sentence. And the most important thing that I've learned over the last two years of running my own lead generation business is you just need to create a sentence that makes what you sell very compelling. And what this will do is it will lead to people wanting to work with you. And what I've learned, the most important lesson, is 80% of the results will actually come from your offer, right? So basically, how much do people want what you have? So I actually want to use this analogy, right? For example, if you are selling a car, let's say a Lamborghini. A Lamborghini is a very expensive car. Why do people want to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on where you are? Why are they willing to pay so much money to buy a Lamborghini? The reason why is because a Lamborghini as a product is a very desirable product. Now, with that being said, how come other car brands who are selling their cars for much less money, why are some of them struggling to sell their cars, right? The Lamborghini Urus, I actually saw a study that said that it's actually sold out until 2026. This is a very expensive car, and why is that sold out for the next year? We haven't even reached 2025 yet. Why is it already sold out until 2026? Well, the reason is because it's a very desirable product, but on the other hand, why are cheaper car brands selling other type of cars? Why are they still sitting on the dealership lot? Well, the simple answer is because people just don't really want those other cars compared to a Lamborghini. And the exact same thing applies with whatever it is that you're trying to sell with your own products or services. What can you do to make your product so desirable that people are willing to line up, hand you money, put themselves on a waiting list, and wait until your product is ready to sell to them? Well, the success of that really just comes down to the offer, which is, again, a very simple sentence telling people what you can actually do for them, who you are helping, and how you can help them, right? And using AI, it actually builds out the offers for you. So a lot of people that I work with, they actually really struggle with putting together an offer because it's very, very hard to do this, right? If you do this yourself manually, it's no easy task, right? I spent the last 2 years learning how to put together compelling offers. There's a bunch of good books out there. A really good book is Alex Hormozi's $100 million Offer. I encourage you to go out, buy that book and read it. I think it's like $1 on like Amazon or something like that. But that's a manual process. And if you follow that book, you will learn how to put together an offer, but that doesn't mean you'll be able to put together a good offer right away. Hopefully you understand that distinction. But with AI, it actually builds out the offer for you. So as an example, here's an example of really good offers. Really, these are, again, 1 to 2 sentences telling people who you help, how you can help them, and what you're actually doing for them. So an example of an offer is we help marketing agencies generate 20 to 30 qualified sales calls every single month within the next 60 days without relying on paid ads or word of mouth by using our targeted outreach system. That's the example of an offer. And if you are sending this offer to marketing agencies, a marketing agency will understand exactly who you help, which in this case is marketing agencies. They'll understand what you do for them, which is generating 20 to 30 qualified sales calls every single month. So there's a time frame attached to it. And they'll understand to a degree how you can help them, which is by using your targeted outreach system. So it tells them what you do, but it also creates curiosity, which is what makes this offer super, super compelling. It tells them you're able to do this without doing the things that they hate or doing the things that doesn't work, which in this case is paid ads. This is an example of an offer. And again, by using AI, it will actually do all of this within literally 30 seconds. And it creates 5 different offers for you to be able to test, right? If it creates offer 1, You read through it, you just don't like it, you can read through offer 2. If you like that more, you can actually go to the market with offer number 2. And again, I have different YouTube videos on my channel teaching you how you can manually put together an offer that like really in-depth and stuff like that. And if you want to do this manually, I encourage you to go through some of those YouTube videos. But if you just want to skip through that process of the manual stuff and sitting there and writing this out and kind of getting writer's block, then using AI, it will actually build you an offer literally within 30 seconds. So that's the very next step, is building out an offer. Now, step 3 is writing the actual cold emails. And this is a very important piece of the puzzle because, again, you're using cold emails to send to these businesses to get a client for yourself. And once you have a client who's paying you money, paying you anywhere between $1,500 and $3,000 a month, you're also using cold emails to help them get more customers and clients. So writing good cold emails is a very cornerstone, essential aspect of running a lead generation agency, because the cold emails that you'll be sending to businesses, really, that's just to see if they're interested in what you have to sell. And the very important things to understand about writing good cold emails is these should be very simple and very direct emails. So you're not writing a paragraph, you're not writing an essay, you're not writing a book report. They're very simple and very direct, and they need to be very direct and very to the point and very easy to understand. The best cold emails that I've ever seen, they're all like 3 sentences long. They take like 10 seconds to read. They're very skimmable. That's the best type of cold emails. And I want you to keep that in mind if you are trying to write your own cold emails. And how you want to put together your cold email sequence is it should be somewhere between 4 and 5 emails long. So what that looks like is, if you've ever heard the term, the money is in the follow-up, well, the exact same thing applies with cold emails, where you first want to reach out to someone over a cold email, but people are busy, they got their own family, they got their own jobs, they got their own stuff to do. They may or may not read that email. And even if they do read that email, maybe something else comes up and they just get distracted and forget about your actual email. So what you want to do is you want to follow up with these people. And that's exactly why you want to create 4 to 5 long email sequences. So what that means is, if let's say you're creating a sequence that is 5 emails long, your very first cold email that you send to people, that's your initial cold email, but you want to do 4 follow-ups, meaning that you send them 5 cold emails in total before your campaign is done. And using AI, it will actually streamline your process of writing effective cold emails campaigns. So using AI, again, here's a screenshot where with a click of a button within 30 seconds, the AI will actually create your emails for you. So example, this might be a little bit confusing to read because I got all the brackets and stuff like that, but it literally says, hey, first name, is company name looking to book more sales calls right now? Reason for reaching out is because we help marketing agencies increase their book sales calls by 25+ every single month within the next 30 days without relying on paid ads or without relying on referrals by using our system. And if we don't get you these results, we don't get paid. Recorded a short video walking you through exactly how this works. Are you the right person at company name to send this over to? And maybe you're reading this cold email right now, you're watching this video, and you're telling yourself, oh, this sounds super simple. And that's the point. It should be super simple. You're not writing a paragraph at the end of the day. But a lot of people, they actually struggle with putting together effective cold emails, but the AI will actually do this for you. And here's a screenshot of what that cold email will actually look like in real life, in practice, while you're actually sending these cold emails. Because again, we're not sitting there manually sending these cold emails. The reason you see these brackets is because we'll be implementing it into another AI software that will automatically send these cold emails for you. So every single day, whether you're taking a nap, you're at the gym, you're out at a restaurant, these cold emails will be sent for you on behalf of you every single day, and you don't have to manually send them out one by one. But this is what that cold email looks like in real life. Hey John, are you looking for more customers right now? Question mark. If so, we can help you find more customers with our automated cold email system. If you're interested, let's set up a quick time to chat. And by the way, this was a real cold email that I actually sent for my own business that actually landed me a client, because after sending this cold email, the person, John, he actually replied back saying, hi Jimmy, I hope you're doing well. I would love to get a call booked in with you with Oliver. I've put together a couple options below and he listed some dates. Please let me know when what time suits you the best, and I'll send you an invite across. Because this process is super simple, and this is kind of how a cold email works. You're literally just virtually over email approaching a random person, telling them what you do, how you can help them, and to see if they're interested in learning more. Some people will reply back telling you, oh yeah, I'm interested in learning more. What's the next steps? I'd love to set up a call with you. And this is an example of a reply. And again, I've worked with over 150 people up until now, and by far, most people really do struggle with writing effective cold emails. As stupid as that sounds, that's the truth, because most people, and I don't blame them, the reason why is because they just never done this before. it's obviously going to be hard to write a cold email for the first time if you've never done it before. Riding a bike for the first time is hard. Driving a car for the very first time is hard. Cooking a meal for the very first time is hard because you just never done it before. And the exact same principle applies. Once you understand how this works and you've written hundreds of cold emails, yeah, this process will become pretty easy. You might not necessarily need AI unless you want to do it automatically. But the very first time you do it, it is going to be very challenging. It takes most people many hours, sometimes even days, to write a good cold email. And even then, they might be doing it wrong or saying the wrong things or adding too much detail or not going into enough detail. But the AI will actually write the cold emails for you pretty much automatically with a click of a button. Now, step 4 in the process, after you write an effective cold email using AI, or if you're doing that manually, your very next step is to actually build out the cold email infrastructure that will actually allow you to send cold emails. So think of it like kind of like building the actual system that lets you send cold emails. And what that involves is setting up domains and setting up email accounts, because it's very important, and this is a very important thing to understand, is you're not going to be using a at gmail.com or at outlook.com domain to send out these cold emails. If you're selling a service for thousands of dollars, which you should be, obviously you got to look professional. And it doesn't look very professional if someone is reaching out to me, sending me an email, they're trying to sell me a service for $5,000 and it says blah, 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 blah at gmail.com, at outlook.com. It doesn't look very professional. So what you actually want to do is you want to set up custom domains and custom email accounts. And that's the caveat, right? Is starting this business will take some money. Again, it's very important to understand that you won't need thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars like other business models like Amazon or dropshipping, but you will generally need somewhere between $200 and $500 to get all of this set up. I recommend as a minimum to get started with this if you have at least $200 just saved up, something that you're able to invest into starting this business. If you have at least $200, that's kind of the bare minimum. The more you can invest, the quicker and further you will go, since most of the money will actually go towards setting up the email accounts. The email accounts do cost money, and the more email accounts you set up, meaning you will send more cold emails, and someone who's sending, let's say, 1,000 cold emails every single day, they'll get significantly different results than someone who's sending 50 cold emails every single day, right? It's just simple math. It's very simple to understand. Volume really does negate luck, and someone who is able to invest more will go further and go quicker. But the minimum I'd say that you need in order to get this started to actually see results will be $200 a month, right? Or $200. And if you have that, then you're kind of good to go. If you don't have that, then I really do encourage you to go and get a job, save some money first before you start a business. And that's the truth. Really, no one online will actually tell you this because everyone's just trying to sell you a course. But the truth is, if you want to start a business, you really should be starting a business from the perspective where you do have a little bit of savings. You don't need tens of thousands of dollars, but you really do need a little bit of savings, kind of like as a kind of little bit of safety padding, so that you can actually focus on building the business as opposed to focus on getting all your bills paid and stuff like that, right? So I really do encourage you to start this business once you have at least $200 saved up. And here's actually a screenshot of how you want to set up all of your domains and email accounts. Again, the AI software will do all of this for you. All you have to do is just press the button, decide whether you want to send from Google, whether you want to send from Outlook, so Microsoft, and pick the option that you want to go, and that's exactly what it will do. And again, it will set up the process for you automatically. Historically, before this software existed, people would literally spend like 10 hours just setting up these domains and email accounts. It's a little bit technical. You gotta add some records, stuff like that into the domains. It's not very easy, especially if someone's not very techie. I'm not very techie, and it was very challenging for me to actually set all of this up. But by using this AI software, it will actually set everything up for you. So with a click of a button, you just enter your name, the domain, and the email account that you actually want to create, like the name and stuff like that. And it will actually set up these email accounts for you. So that's what the AI will do. Again, it'll do this in like 2 minutes versus spending like 10 hours sitting there, pulling your hairs out, just setting up different records and manually setting up each of the domains. And what this will also allow you to do is it'll actually allow you to send cold emails in an automated way. So again, automatically sending cold emails every single day without you manually sending emails one by one, pressing send inside of Gmail one by one, which means on a day-to-day basis, you'll be working anywhere between 1 and 2 hours a day, right? Most of the work is done to actually set up this business and get it off the ground. And if you learn how to do it and manually set this all up, it'll probably take you 10 to 20 hours in total. But the AI will do all of this for you, and it'll set everything up for you in less than 1 to 2 hours of just upfront setup. And again, right, here's actually a screenshot of a campaign that I launched back in September, so a few months ago, where I was able to cold email almost 5,000 people. Imagine how tedious it would have been, how much time and effort it would have taken for me to just manually send out 5,000 cold emails, manually writing them out, manually pressing send 5,000 times, right? I just don't want to be doing that. I'm kind of a lazier type of guy. I don't want to be sitting there sending 5,000 cold emails one by one. But the AI will actually do this for you. And this specific tool that allowed me to do this is called smartly.ai. So you could go and, set that up for yourself. But again, this tool will save you a bunch of time. It'll save you a bunch of effort, and you're able to just send a bunch of cold emails without manually pressing send one by one. And again, I do want to also say that you're not spamming people, right? So 5,000 sounds like a lot. 5,000 cold emails sounds like a lot. But again, you have to understand that this is a sales game. And at the end of the day, the more people you email, the more people you reach out to, the more people who know who you are, the more likely you are to actually make money. And again, this is also why I was able to go from $0 to $10,000 in my first 2 to 3 months, because I was sending so many cold emails in such an automated way that it kind of, in a way, made it unreasonable for me not to make money, right? So that's what I will say about that, right? And from this campaign above, from the screenshot, again, right, I sent around 5,000 cold emails. I got 67 positive replies. So people who I emailed, to these 5,000 people I cold emailed, 67 of them emailed me back saying, sure, Jimmy, I'd love to learn more. Sure, Jimmy, I'd love to chat on a call, blah, 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 blah. They're just interested in learning more. And of these people, I got roughly 30 sales calls. So roughly 30 of these 67 people that replied back, they were interested in setting up a Zoom call where I went on to actually sell and pitch my actual service. And that leads me to the next step, which is the sales call and closing the actual deal. Because most people are just going to reply back to your cold email interested in jumping on a Zoom call and just learning more, right? And that's kind of why the more cold emails you send, the better, right? Even in this screenshot down below here, I sent 5,000 cold emails just to get 30 sales calls, roughly 30 sales calls. So if I was sending more cold emails, I would have got 60 sales calls, which again increases the probability of me actually making money. If I was sending way less cold emails, so let's say I only sent 50 cold emails, I probably wouldn't have gotten even a single sales call, which again makes it impossible for me to actually make money if I wasn't taking a single sales call, right? So that's why volume is kind of important with this. Again, the more you're able to invest into this, the quicker and further you will go, right? Because this is a sales call, and it's very important to understand that you don't want to overthink it. Just remember that this is a normal conversation with a business who needs your help with finding more customers. They have a problem and you have the solution. Very important dynamic to understand. They have a massive problem and they want to know how you could potentially help them solve this problem. And there's actually a very structured way that you want to follow on this actual sales call, right? I laid it out into 6 structured steps that you want to follow inside the sales call. The very first step is called introductions, kind of like just icebreakers. You're introducing yourself for the very first time, and you want to lay an agenda for what this call will be about. The second thing you want to do is you just want to ask them some questions, some very key important questions to learn more about their business. So for example, so John, tell me a little bit more. How are you currently generating sales calls? What are you currently doing to get more customers and get more clients? How many clients are you currently getting on average every single month? These are very important questions to learn more about their business, right? And that kind of ties into point number 3, which is questions to learn more about how they're currently getting customers right now. What are their problems? So John, you told me that right now you're relying on word of mouth to get sales calls. How's that going for you? Oh, it's a little bit inconsistent. So what do you have in mind, right? You're hearing some problems in terms of what they're currently doing, and you're seeing if what you're doing, which is cold emails, can actually help them, right? You're asking some questions to learn more about what they're looking for. So John, you're telling me that you want a way to get more consistent sales calls. What do you kind of have in mind? Is that cold emails? Is that running ads? What does that kind of look like? So you want to ask those questions. After you ask these questions and you learn more about their business and you understand that you can actually help them, you want to walk through a process of how your process works. So kind of like your pitch. So where you're breaking down how you're actually doing this for them, how you're sending cold emails, what all of this involves. If they became a client of yours, what's the first step? Is it onboarding? What does that look like? So you want to walk through how your process works. And at the end of it, if they say to you, so Jimmy, we want to move forward. That's where you go in for the close. And your goal at the end of the conversation is to get a clear next step. So whatever that clear next step is. For some people, their clear next step is, sure, Jimmy, send me the invoice. I want to move forward at $3,000. Send me the invoice. That's someone's next step. Maybe another next step is, Jimmy, just not at this time. I don't think cold emails is the best for my business. Reach out to me in 6 months. That's, again, a very good next step. But the point is you need to get a next step, whether that is someone who is ready to move forward with you or someone who doesn't want to move forward at this time. Either way, that's completely fine. You just need to get a next step, right? And you have to understand that as a general KPI, I've taken close to 1,000 sales calls, and for every 10 people that you chat with, you will probably consistently sign or close 2 to 3 people, right? So like 30%, 20 to 30% of people that you chat with will be happy to move forward and work with you. And on the call, what you want to do is you actually want to send them an invoice based on the agreed upon price. And again, you can obviously negotiate the price, but most people who start their own lead generation agency, they're able to sign clients for anywhere between $1,500 and $3,000. And that's kind of the general range, right? And it's a pretty fat range because some people, they're just not as confident to just say, my service costs $4,000. My service costs $3,000. And it is something that you will develop after taking a few sales calls for sure, right? And here's a screenshot of just some of the invoices that I was able to collect on these sales calls. I'm in Canada, so some of these were CAD, but most of my clients actually pay me in USD, right? So $2,000, $1,500, $2,500, $3,000. This is the range of what is possible with this service because again, businesses have this massive problem, and for them, $3,000 is quite literally nothing. It's peanuts in comparison to how much money they can make if they're able to acquire new customers consistently by using cold emails, right? So that's why they're willing to pay so much. So the next step is step 6, which is delivering the actual service. So that's kind of what makes this business model so good, and the number one reason why starting a lead generation agency is why I personally think is the best business to start as a complete beginner. And the reason why is because this is a very simple business model. You don't need to learn how to run ads. You don't need to learn how to copyright. You don't need to learn a million different things. The only thing you need to learn is how to write good cold emails. Because again, as a lead generation agency, you're reaching out to businesses, you're pitching them your services using cold emails. Once you sign them as a client, you're using cold emails to reach out to your clients' businesses and potential customers and clients using cold emails again. So again, the number one skill is just learning how to write cold emails. The service you will be providing to clients, so again, cold emails to generate sales calls, is the exact same process that you will be using for yourself first to land a client for your own business. So what you're doing by doing this is you're first getting proof of concept for yourself, then selling the same system that got you results. So just to really nail home this point, one of the most popular business models is SMMA, right? Building a marketing agency where you're providing ads as a service to other businesses. But most people that actually know who run an SMMA, as stupid as it sounds, they sell ads to their own customers and clients, but they don't even run ads themselves. So how can someone learn how to run ads if they don't even know how to do it themselves, right? It just doesn't work, right? And that borderlines on like kind of like morally questionable behavior because they're kind of like scamming people because they don't even know how it works. But by doing this, by using cold emails as a lead generation agency, is because you're using cold emails first for yourself, you will learn and understand how everything works. And by the time you have a client, you already know it works because you landed a client from sending them a cold email. So you get proof of concept. And again, because of how large of a problem lead generation is for businesses, they're willing to pay you anywhere between $1,500 and $3,000 a month, which is why scaling to a very specific income goal like $10,000 a month, why that's actually way easier than you might think. Why I was able to get to $10,000 in my month in my third month. Because if your goal is to get to $5,000 a month, what that really means is you only need 2 or 3 clients paying you $2,000 a month. Now, on the other hand, if your goal is to get to $10,000 a month, what that means is that that's 5 clients paying you $2,000 a month, because this is very profitable because you're charging such a large amount of money. Getting to $10,000 a month is really just, 5 clients, 3 to 4 clients. It took me 4 clients to get to $10,000 per month, right? Some of the screenshots I shared with you earlier. So Spencer, he got to $20,000 per month working with 5 to 6 clients because he's charging $3,000 to $4,000 for each individual client, which makes the math work in his favor. So if you wanted to start your own lead generation agency, specifically the way that I teach it, you will likely see results by following this process, by following this video. However, what you will have to do is you have to learn how to set up the entire business from the ground and actually do the work correctly in order to see any results. And that's a caveat because a lot of people, they just don't know what they don't know, right? They don't even know that something is important. And as a result, they skip the entire step or they do it incorrectly. But that's a completely viable option if you go through my YouTube channel. Again, I think I posted like 125 plus videos now to date talking about how to start a lead generation agency, all of these specific steps in step-by-step detail. And that's completely viable if you have time on your hands and you want to do this yourself. However, as you probably realized throughout this video, I have a one-on-one consulting program where I work with people to start and scale their own lead generation agencies. And the ultimate goal, kind of like the North Star of that one-on-one consulting program, is to get people to $10,000 a month in the next 90 days. And if we do decide to work together, it's very likely, very strong probability that you land your first client within the next 30 days, next 30 to 45 days. Right? And that's assuming you do everything the AI will actually do it for you. So it actually becomes easier for you to actually get started with this. And especially if you're able to leverage AI to do all of the work for you, it will save you a bunch of hours. It'll save you a bunch of effort. And to be honest, the AI will probably set up the entire business for you and write the cold emails better than most people do it. Because again, most people are doing this for the very first time. They're going to struggle, right? Anytime you do something for the first time, it's going to be hard. But the AI was bypassed and kind of just shortcut the process of learning how to do all of this. Again, it is to your benefit to learn how all of this works, which is, what I'll be teaching you how to do. But the AI will actually implement this entire process for you. And that's exactly why we get results like this, right? Again, here's some more results, right? So again, Daniel, he made $13,000 with his own lead generation agency within 60 days of starting, right? Spencer, he got to $20,000 a month in his fourth month. In the first 4 months of him doing this, in the first 2 months, he got to $11,000 per month. Kevin, he went from 0 to 9.5K in his first 30 days. Tyler, he went from 0 to $6,000 in 28 days by doing this. I have a bunch more case studies, but again, I don't want to make this like a really long video of me just showing screenshots of people just making money. Hopefully you get the point, right? And that's exactly what these people were able to do. So if you are interested in working with me to start your own lead generation agency and scaling from 0 to $10,000 per month in the next 90 days, then the first link in the description below is a link to set up a time to chat. And together, we'll decide if we are a good fit. If we are a good fit, then we'll get you started into, our one-to-one consulting program. It's called Inbox Live. If it's not a good fit, no worries. We're not going to pressure you into a decision. We're just not, I don't want to build my business off of questionable ethics. We operate on full integrity. And if we are a good fit, then we'll get started. If we're not a good fit for any reasons, or if you decide that now is not the right time, no worries at all, right? We have a YouTube channel that teaches people exactly how to do this. We have had people who comment on my YouTube channel saying they signed like 3 clients, 4 clients, they're making $6,000 a month, but just from following my free YouTube videos, right? But if you you are interested in working with me to start your own lead generation agency and getting to $10,000 per month in the next 90 days, then the first link in the description below will let you set up a time and we'll chat together and we'll see if we could actually help you, if we could work together to get you closer to your goals. But that's basically what I wanted to share with you in today's video. Thanks for sticking around. If you have made it to the end of this video, a lot of people, 99% of people actually don't make it to this point. But if you do make it to this point, comment the emoji, comment a banana in the comments below, just so I can actually see who makes it to the end. Again, 99% of people don't actually make it to the end. But if you are watching this point, make sure you're commenting the banana emoji down below, just so I can know that you actually stuck through and watched the video and you are serious about changing your life, making some money, and starting your own online business. But that's basically what I wanted to share with you today. Hope you found this valuable. If you do, make sure you drop me a like, make sure you drop me a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.